and welcome to my channel. Today our topic is De Niro humbles Trump. Let's see this clip.
Past 8 years, we've heard you talk about the former president. You have called him a fraud, a con artist. You've said he's a New Yorker like you, and you have watched this brand of BS for decades. And despite that, he became president. And now we're watching him 10 blocks from where we are right now, sitting in a courtroom as a criminal defendant. What do you think about that?
I think of how absurd it is. And this might be the one case where that could be it for him. It's a state case. It's the least important in many ways.
Now, come to think of it, if embarrassment was a person, I'm so sure Trump would tick that box. I mean, wow. Donald Trump had a rough one. And not just rough like a simple bad hair day, though trust me, that's in the mix, but rough like Robert De Niro strolling into the room, giving him that legendary squint, and basically saying without words, "Today's the day I'm gonna roast you like a Thanksgiving turkey." And I was sitting there like, wait, hold on. Did this just happen?
Should not be president, period.
And when you say that, folks on Fox come after you. I remember the Tonys when you got up there and cursed. A lot of criticism of you.
Fuck them.
Okay, well, you know, this is cable,
Sorry.
so it's not an FCC violation, but it is still a Sunday morning.
Well,
I do wonder why you choose to go that way.
Let me say something.
Why do you choose to go that way?
We are at a moment in our life, in this country, where this guy is like a gangster. He's come along and he's said things, done things we say over and over again. This is terrible. We're in a terrible situation. We're in a terrible situation, and this guy just keeps going on and on and on without being stopped.
And the craziest part? De Niro didn't even need to open his mouth at first. That's what shocked me. He's got that face. You know the one, like he's seen 50 mobsters go down, 50 cops get crooked, and 50 villains try to flex, and Trump still doesn't even crack the top 10 of real threats.
Should resign. Because this morning in the Connecticut Post, which is one of the biggest papers in the state of Connecticut, I believe this is the first major paper to call for him to step down. That would be quite a dramatic development.
I don't think he's capable of resigning. Bill Maher a couple of weeks ago said that it's going to be difficult getting him out of the White House.
That stare alone was enough to make me shift in my seat, and I wasn't even the target. Meanwhile, Trump is just standing there. Oh man, you could almost see the lights flicker behind his eyes, like somebody yanked the cord out of his teleprompter mid-sentence. It was that frozen look of, uh-oh, I wasn't ready for this.
Are there real presidents that you looked for inspiration? And I guess it goes without saying you didn't look at the current president for inspiration.
No.
Do you think our democracy is at risk in this election?
I think that it is. I always keep saying democracy is great, of course, but democracy people take for granted. It's a word that some people don't even understand. They take it for granted. It's about right and wrong.
And I just sat back thinking, no way this man, who claims to be the toughest in the room, just got thrown off balance by one eyebrow raise from De Niro. Now here's where it gets wild. As De Niro's throwing shade, Trump's wig, or whatever engineering marvel is on his head, decided it couldn't take the heat anymore. It literally tried to flee the scene. Like, it just went airborne, and I swear it looked like it was waving for help on the way out. I didn't know if I should laugh, salute, or call animal control.
If he loses marginally.
Do you have that fear as well, that he wouldn't leave?
Yeah, he'll say it's rigged or this or that. He'll find this guy has done everything possible. Much worse than I ever thought, ever. The day after he was elected, I said, well, give him a chance. You never know, you'll see. But he's worse than I ever could have imagined.
And what is at the heart of that? What is the primary critique or complaint or objection?
I don't know. I think he's crazy in a way. Part of him is just crazy. I mean, if it wasn't for you, CNN, MSNBC, and some other outlets, the New York Times, the Washington Post, I mean, where are we? This is a crazy world. What is going on?
You ever see something so ridiculous that your brain just pauses for a second? That was me. For a split second, I thought, maybe that hairpiece has been trying to escape for years, and De Niro finally gave it the courage.
Does it give you some sense, not of joy, but of relief at least, that he's potentially facing some consequences? Because, as you've said before, this guy's a con artist, and he's gotten away with it for years.
No, he's more than that to me. He's sick. He is really, genuinely a sick person.
And I'll be honest, I was surprised. I thought, out of all the scandals, lawsuits, indictments, golf course disasters, this is the thing that breaks me. A gust of wind and suddenly we're in a Scooby-Doo episode where the villain's mask gets ripped off. Except this time, it's a wig, and underneath is just more orange confusion.
Period. The guy's a monster. He is beyond wrong. It's almost like he wants to do the most horrible things that he can think of in order to get a rise out of us. I don't know what it is, but he's been doing it, and it's scary.
But here's the thing. De Niro wasn't just clowning around. He was laying into Trump with that actor's intensity, like he was about to yell action in the middle of the press conference. And Trump, instead of brushing it off with one of his usual comebacks, looked genuinely rattled. Watch what I mean.
It somehow has been allowed into our system. And I'm tired of calling him names. He just can't be anywhere near the office of the presidency.
You've played a lot of bad guys. Would you ever play Donald Trump?
Never. There's nothing about him. There's not one redeeming thing in him that I can see ever.
De Niro points out the hypocrisy, the chaos, the nonsense, and suddenly, Trump's entire face goes stiff. You could see the gears turning like, how do I insult this guy without admitting he's cooler than me? Spoiler alert, he couldn't. It's funny because De Niro isn't even a politician. He's not running for anything. He's just an old-school New Yorker who's sick of Trump acting like he's the king of the city.
We're in a very bad situation. I remember you and I about 5-6 years ago talking. I'm down at the Spring Studios. Something about. I said, "What just happened? Just happened." No, it didn't. Didn't happen. It's all about truth, and what we have here is a denial of truth all over the place.
And that's what makes it sting more. When a senator criticizes Trump, he shrugs it off. When the FBI investigates, he screams witch hunt. But when Robert freaking De Niro opens his mouth, suddenly the wig grows legs and tries to file for asylum. Now let's talk about the wig for a second.
And that's why it's so weird that Donald Trump is just across the street. Because he doesn't belong in my city. I don't know where he belongs, but he certainly doesn't belong here. We New Yorkers used to tolerate him when he was just another grubby real estate hustler masquerading as a big shot.
People joke about it all the time, but this moment felt symbolic, like the hairpiece was the last loyal soldier, and even it couldn't handle the lies anymore. You know it's bad when your own scalp is trying to impeach you. I kept staring at that clip, thinking, what else is going to abandon him? The tie? The spray tan? Melania already looks like she's mentally vacationing in another dimension.
I love this city. I don't want to destroy it. Donald Trump wants to destroy not only the city, but the country, and eventually he could destroy the world. But we vowed we would not allow terrorists.
At some point, even the golf carts are going to unionize and walk out. And look, I know Trump doesn't like De Niro. He's said it before. Actors, Hollywood elites, blah, blah, blah. But deep down, you can tell he cares. Because if he didn't, he wouldn't get that tight jaw and weird little pout whenever De Niro's name comes up.
Do you really worry that if he were to win again, and I'm not saying this like it's such a far-fetched notion, if he were to win again, that he would not give up power?
You know he won't. You know he won't. He even said it. He's never going to give it up. And anybody who deludes themselves in thinking that he is, shame on you.
It's like a schoolyard rivalry where one kid clearly won the fight years ago, but the other still shows up every day pretending he's undefeated. That's Trump. He's the guy insisting he's the prom king, even though the crown is in De Niro's trophy case.
Compared the Trump family to a gangster family, which is something coming from you. What do you mean?
They are. Well, because he thinks he's a gangster. He does everything like a gangster. I don't think that gangsters in that world would think much of him, because there's honor among thieves.
Here's the part that kills me. Trump tried to clap back, but it landed with all the force of a soggy paper towel. You know when someone tries to sound tough, but ends up sounding like they're just reading Yelp reviews out loud? That was him. He's standing there, squinting at De Niro, and I swear I heard the faint sound of sad trombones in the background. And I'm not saying De Niro is some flawless hero. He's got his own quirks.
Embarrassment to this country. It makes me so angry that this country has gotten to this point, that this fool, this bozo, has wound up where he has. He talks how he wants to punch people in the face. Well, I'd like to punch him in the face. This is somebody that we want for president? I don't think so.
But man, when he goes after Trump, it feels like watching an old-school heavyweight match. You don't even need commentary. You just sit there eating popcorn going, yep, this is entertainment. And trust me, when someone like Robert take up your case, you're so gone. He went as far as calling Trump a bozo. Shocking, right?
What I care about is the direction of this country. And what I'm very, very worried about is that it might go in the wrong direction with someone like Donald Trump. If you care about your future, vote for it.
And the fact that Trump's hairpiece chose that exact moment to yeet itself into the atmosphere, that's divine timing. You couldn't script it better. Now, here's a question I've been stuck on. What's more fragile, Trump's ego or his wig glue?
In my country, we're fighting like hell for the democracy we once took for granted. And that affects all of us. That affects all of us here because the arts are democratic. Art is inclusive. It brings people together.
Because both seem to be holding on by a thread. One harsh breeze or one celebrity takedown, and suddenly the whole empire's wobbling. And honestly, isn't it poetic? The man who built an entire brand on appearances can't even keep his own appearance from defecting mid-roast. But you know what? Maybe I'm being too harsh on the wig.
America's Philistine president has had himself appointed head of one of our premier cultural institutions. He has cut funding and support to the arts, humanities, and education. And now he has announced a 100% tariff on films produced outside the U.S.
Maybe it was just trying to retire. That thing has been through rallies, courtrooms, golf games, sweaty summers in Florida. It deserves a pension. Imagine being stitched onto that man's head for decades. The things it's seen, the secrets it knows. If wigs could talk, that one would be testifying in Congress right now.
Bottom line is, it's Biden versus Trump. We want to live in a world that we want to live in and enjoy living in, or live in a nightmare. Vote for Trump, and you'll get the nightmare.
To the former president, is that true? Do you have to use a teleprompter when speaking about President Trump? Or are you able to just kind of riff on your thoughts on him?
He's so stupid.
Still, let's not forget the real headline here. De Niro got under Trump's skin in a way few people can. And that matters. Because it shows that beyond the bluster, beyond the staged confidence, Trump hates being clowned by people he secretly respects.
These guys are the true heroes. They stood and put their lives on the line for these lowlives, for Trump.
They lied under oath. Right.
Who lied under oath? What are you telling me?
He can brush off politicians, but De Niro, that's a guy Trump probably grew up watching on screen. And now that same guy is looking him dead in the eye and calling him out? That's devastating. That's like your childhood hero saying you're the reason they hate Christmas.
I mean, he's so blatantly stupid. He's a punk. He's a dog. He's a pig. He's a con, a bullshit artist, a mutt who doesn't know what he's talking about, doesn't do his homework, doesn't care, thinks he's gaming society, doesn't pay his taxes. He's an idiot. Colin Powell said it best. He's a national disaster.
I'll wrap it up like this. Trump's wig may have flown the coop, but what De Niro exposed was bigger than bad hair. He exposed that thin skin, that fragile ego, that desperate need to be adored. And no matter how much Trump tries to puff up his chest and talk tough, the image of that runaway hairpiece is burned into history. Because at that moment, Trump wasn't the strongman, the deal maker, or the political powerhouse. He was just a guy chasing after his own wig while Robert De Niro stood there, looking like he'd already won the fight 20 years ago. And honestly, that's the funniest part. If you enjoyed leaving a like and subscribing, more videos are on the screen now.